très bien, très bien, très bien. Pull forward, pull forward. Now we are seated. What's up, everybody? This is Philip, and this is the Bad Cigarette Podcast. You're welcome. If you're new, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any other episode. And hit the like button, and then we'll see you on the next episode after you watch this. But, anyways, my name is Philip, and I'm the host. So, I want to talk about learning. You know, we go to school to learn, and before that, we learn other things. At home, we learn how to use our phones most of the time. For the kids that grew up here in America, we learn how to use our phones. We definitely learn how to touch fire because everybody got burnt when they were young. And then we learn that stranger danger. We learn how to play on the playground with other people, and then we learn that dogs are pretty cute animals. And every single time we see one, we have to say, "Hey, little doggy." And then we go to high school. After high school, for the ones that went to college, you go to college. But for the ones that didn't go to college, it doesn't end there. You literally keep on learning after learning. Like, even when you feel like you've learned everything that was there to learn, everything that they say that you are supposed to learn, you know. I feel like when I was in welding school, I learned so many things. So many. And when I went out in the welding world to actually become a welder, I learned that things were a lot more different from what I've been taught. And there's so many, like literally so many things that I still need to learn. It is crazy. And even the people that have been there for so many years have a lot of things that they still need to learn. Sometimes from you, the person that literally just got out of training, like, I don't know, 5 weeks ago. And they've been there for like 10 years, you know. There is always and always and always something new to learn. And for the people who literally like find themselves in a space where they have to learn something new and they don't feel like learning something new, or they're just lazy to learn something new, trust me, you're gonna stay behind in every way, especially in whatever it is that they're trying to teach you, or whatever it is that you're supposed to learn. You're literally gonna stay behind, and other people are gonna take your opportunity. The ones that are like willing to learn. Like, learning doesn't end. It doesn't. It's like a forever flowing river. It's like a forever chemical, or whatever you want to call it. You just can't finish learning, you know. So you just gotta be open minded to learn everything, especially when it comes to like technical things. Let's say like welding. You know what I mean? There's some things that I feel like I know. There's some machines that I know how to run. There's somebody that's been a welder for like 10 years doesn't know how to run. Why? Because they usually prefer very old machines that are like really manual and not very technical and not very computerized. And that's what they're like used to. And they take pride in that. And when you tell them that, hey, there's like a setting in this brand new machine where you can set it up, and it will do a lot of things for you that you would otherwise have to do with your hand while you're welding. And they'll be like, oh, come on, hey, that. They just start complaining. But in the end, if they actually decide to learn whatever it is that you're trying to teach them, things become easier. I'm not saying I've never been that kind of guy who is like, oh, I don't want to learn something because it either makes me look like I don't know what I'm doing. Because, like, first of all, if you're in a space where you are brand new and then somebody's trying to teach you something, even if you think you're fully qualified and like you fully know things, there's always something that you don't know. And like I've been in those situations where somebody's trying to teach me something and I feel like they're either just trying to be like, hey, you don't know what you're doing. Let me show you what you're doing, what you're supposed to do, and how you're supposed to do it. And I'm like, bro, don't even fucking think of it. Don't treat me like I don't know shit, cause I fucking know something. I might not know exactly what you're trying to tell me to do, but I might know another way to do it that you don't know. So the way to do, like in this kind of situation, what I feel like you're supposed to do is just that, just kind of like calm down just a little bit, but at the same time, don't let the other person that's trying to teach you something make you feel like you're not all that and you don't know what you're supposed to do or you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? And then learn from them modestly, and then also teach them something that you also know that they don't know, and then just grow together. Like literally, there's so many people that know how to do things that just gatekeep them without teaching anybody how to do it. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, why do you spend so much time learning something if you're not gonna, if you're not gonna pass it to somebody else? I feel like the whole purpose of learning something is to use it and then teaching somebody else whatever it is that you have learned. And that's literally, like, I feel like, I'm not saying that that's the only goal for learning something, but I feel like that's one of the goals. Because if you can learn something very well, you know what I mean, and then get to the point where you can teach somebody else how to do that thing, then you're like the best. You're like on the list of one of the best learners or one of the best students. Like, you're just really good at it because you're at the point where you can teach somebody else how to do it. You know what I mean? And that's fucking cool. But then there's some people who just like to keep knowledge to themselves. Like, oh, you know how to do this, but you don't want to tell anybody how to do it. And like, it hurts my brain sitting somewhere and watching somebody do something or try to do something that I know how to do and watch them struggle. Dude, you gotta have a very strong brain to watch somebody struggle trying to do something that you know how to do and not help them. And there's some people like that. Trust me. And sometimes they just laugh when they see you struggling with something that they know how to do, and they don't want to help you. You know, that's fucking evil. It's fucking evil, dude. I've seen some people like that, and that's not. I feel like would I say that's a bad student, or would I say that's a bad person who doesn't want to share knowledge? It really depends, you know. Some people take pride in teaching others what they know, and some people take pride in the amount of knowledge that they have that other people don't have, and they feel like if they share it, their worth will go down, and then the other person's worth will go up. Oh, they feel like they're gonna have like somebody else that has almost the exact same amount of knowledge as them, which in a way kind of makes them look less valuable. Like, you understand the demand and supply kind of thing. If you have somebody that knows a lot, just one person, then that person will always be important compared to somebody who doesn't know a lot as much as the other person. But if you have two people that know like a whole lot of things, the importance is always gonna be shared between both of them. And they might be rivals, they might not be, but if one of them is one of those people who doesn't wanna have like somebody else who they can, like, they know they have the same amount of knowledge about something, they're always gonna fight. And that person jealousy can just come out of that, and then things can get really shaky. You know what I mean? And then there's some people who take pride in teaching somebody else. There's some people who just feel really, really, really nice and good about themselves when they teach someone how to do something the right way. And those are the kind of people that are like amazing, and they're needed in spaces where, especially, there is a lot of people that need to learn something or need to learn a lot of things. You need the kind of people that take pride in sharing knowledge. Those are like teachers, welding instructors, dancing instructors. Literally, that's a spirit of a leader. Like, if you're one of those people who just take pride in sharing knowledge that you have, that is that's just leadership, and that's an amazing trait in a person. It's so, it's, imagine if Jesus had came here and didn't tell us anything about God. I mean, let me just say that, if Jesus had just showed up and never said anything about God, even if God told him to come here and like tell us things, just imagine he had like if he had just stayed quiet. You know, imagine if like Mary had just given birth to him, and he didn't do anything that was like miraculous or miracles or did or teach anything. You know, that could have been horrible. I don't know exactly what could have happened, and I don't want to go there because that's a lot of thinking. I'm not saying I don't like thinking, but you know, I feel like it would not have been good. You know, but like you get what I'm saying. Take pride in teaching people things that you know, because you never know. Literally, there's like four people that I know very well that helped me a lot when it comes to welding. That even now, if I was working somewhere and I saw their son, their kid, or their cousin or whatever, dude, I would I wouldn't leave that person on the side of the road and not help them in any kind of way I possibly could. Because, dude, your uncle taught me how to do this. Your dad taught me how to do this. There's no way I can just leave you here stranded. You know what I mean? Because what if you go home and be like, hey, I saw Philip when I was struggling on the road, and he didn't help me. He'll be like, what? That's the kid that I thought how to do this. That was my student. This and that. You know what I mean? I don't even within other things. It's just not just teaching somebody and changes a lot about them. Teaching somebody something that you know that is positive, also in a positive way, changes a lot of things about them. You just make them a better person. Like literally, you just grab this person who is like regular, and then you just make them a much better person than they were. And that's amazing. You know what I mean? Also, like, there's different kind of people who teach things. There's some people who teach you something, and they try and literally obviously try to show you that they know a lot more than you, and you don't. And like literally absolutely show you like, hey, you don't know how to do this, move, let me show you how to do it. And that's just too much ego. Just know how you teach somebody something. you know there's some situations where I've been like I was probably like doing something, and then somebody came to me and be like, hey, do you mind taking some unsolicited do I can't speak English for shit, unsolicited advice. Like, it's like they're asking for permission to teach me something. Yeah, I remember I was in the gym. I was like lifting weights in a way that wasn't probably the right way. And this guy walked up to me and said like, hey, do you mind taking some unsolicited advice? And I was like, I don't mind. And he was like, hey, when you move like this, don't go all the way. Just bring them up here and then push them up. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. And then I did it. And I just felt like literally I should have been doing this whole time, but I didn't. Now imagine if I had this ego where I was like, oh, you can't tell me what to do, and then just be like, hey, I don't wanna, I don't wanna take your advice, this and that. Imagine if I had been like that. I could have been doing the wrong thing the whole time. Probably injure myself at some point. But then at the same time, imagine if this guy had came to me and be like, "Hey, bro, let me show you how to do this. You're not doing it the right way. Let me show you." And then I kind of like pushed me off the seat and then got on the seat and just yeah, and like being like, "Hey, and then showed me how to do it, but in a way that absolutely puts me down to the fucking floor. You know, that's that's not the right way to do it. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna teach somebody something, this is what I personally do. I kind of like stay back for, I don't know. I just think about it. Like, how am I gonna approach this person? Because most of the time, you don't really know those people. Or sometimes I just stay back and be like, hey, people are very different. For me, I kind of like practice. I'm like, I wanna be there and be like, hey, you know, when I do it like this. Do you mind me telling you how I do it? Because I do it like this, and then that's a good way to do it. But when I'm doing it, I kind of do it like this. It gives me these kind of results and these kind of results and these kind of results compared to when you do it like this. You get the same results, but it takes longer. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're not teaching somebody something, or you're not teaching them how to do something. You're just teaching them how to do it in a way that doesn't make them like work a lot harder. You know what I mean? Just teaching tricks and techniques to other people. Like so I'll sit back and then think about how I wanna approach that person, and then give them advice, unsolicited advice, especially if they're not ready for it. You know what I mean? Compared to if I just walked up to somebody and be like, hey, let me show you how to do it, and then push them out of the way. That's fucking rude. And some people are tired of life, and if you just walk up to them like that, they will just doing. Oh shit. They would not take it very like they're not gonna take it very kindly. And if it's somebody who is not very explosive and you walk up to them like that and give them some kind of advice in a way that makes them look like they don't know shit, they might never talk to you again. They might be like, yeah, that guy is so cocky and he's a literally, that's the definition of an asshole. Somebody that thinks that they know everything, and they really truly believe that they know everything, and they do not take advice from anybody, and they just want to do things exactly their way, and then they want to try hard, go out of their way to get other people to do things exactly the way they do it. Especially if it's something where it's like where everybody is like kind of like open source, or an open kind of way where you can do things however you want them, as long as you get like a certain kind of results. Literally, assholes are just fucking assholes. That's just how it is. But they can change. You can confront them. And how do you confront an asshole? Shit. Let's see. Let me think. How would I confront an asshole? I remember one time I confronted somebody that was being an asshole for for like literally a lot of times, and he was known for that. And to be honest, I kind of like put some emotion into it. I just told him how I felt and be like, hey, dude, I just don't like the way you do things and say things and think everybody's your child and you can tell them exactly what to do. That's just not how it works. And then usually they have an excuse. Literally 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, man, I didn't mean it like that. That's just how I talk. No. Like, you okay, so if you know that you talk a certain kind of way, or if you know that, I feel like assholes don't know that they're assholes. That's just the thing. That's also a problem. But like when you're approaching them, you just gotta be honest. Be like, hey man, you're just a little too much, bro. The way you are talking to that guy, it's not very nice. You know, you're talking to him like he's your child, and nobody really thinks that's cool. I know you might think that you're cool in your brain. You might think that, oh, everybody's seeing me helping this guy. Everybody's seeing me talking to this guy in this kind of way. So they're probably gonna think that I'm the bigger guy. Yeah, they're gonna think that you're the bigger guy. But being a bigger guy and being an asshole, it doesn't really help. Look at Trump. He's the fucking president, but he's an asshole, and nobody likes him. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but it's fucking true. You know, you just gotta, I don't know, when you're confronting somebody that's being an asshole, you just gotta kind of like be nice, be the opposite. Try to be the light in the darkness. Yeah, that's something. Clock that. Write that down. Call Shakespeare. But anyways, yeah, just try to be nice. Try to be the opposite. Just go up to them, being like, "Hey, man, you're not supposed to. You can't just step on me like that just because you have better clicks than I have. You know, oh, you can't just go around talking mad about me just because I'm not there. Stuff like that. You know, other people like to fight. Hey, if you wanna throw them fucking hands, nigga, I'll hit you with a fucking combo like my name is Zaxby's or something. But yeah, that's it about assholes and learning and stuff like that. But the moral of the story is that there's like you never stop learning. Like you never ever stop learning in life. You can't just finish high school and be like, oh, I'm done with learning. Yeah, this is it. No, no. School is actually supposed to get you ready for real life. So you're gonna finish learning in school and then go into the real world and learn about the real world. It's cold out here. Bring your fucking jacket. I'm telling you, bring your jacket. Bring every skill that you've ever had anywhere, that you literally have ever learned anywhere. You don't have to use it now, but you are gonna use it. And bring your finance skills. Bring your money management skills, cause boy, oh boy, when you're like making money, spend too much, spend too fast. That's what happens. You end up spending too fast. But if you know how to budget, you'll be fine. So bring those skills to the real life, to the real world. Uh, bring kindness into the world. Be great. You know, be the kind of person that when they see somebody stepping on like a little bitty flower that's growing, be the kind of person to go up to the flower and lift it up and pour some water to it. Just be good. Learn and bring your knowledge and share it with other people, because that's what a good teacher does. Imagine if teachers would not tell us what they knew. Instead, they only told us what was in the books. I had a teacher like that. I'm not gonna lie. I had a teacher that was never telling us anything about how she would do things, other than the way that the textbook tells her how to tell us how to do it. Like teachers get things from a textbook and then they write it on a board or give you homework from the textbooks and stuff like that. But I feel like some good teachers will give you their opinions 100%, and then they will tell you about their experience with such a thing, and then they will tell you their friend's experience, and then they will tell you everything, and then in the end, they'll be like, "Yeah, that's just my experience with this like with English problem. That's just my experience with this thing, but you guys can make up your own opinion on that or you whatever you think. But then this is what the textbook says. You know what I mean? There's like the teacher, and then there's the textbook, and then there's what the student actually interprets all that as. But in the end, it's what's on the book that's gonna give you the grades and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I feel like It's really good for a teacher to give their opinion and their experience about the lessons that they're teaching, and that just makes the class more fun, and the kids get to know you and stuff like that. Like amazing teachers just teachers and they tell stories while they're teaching and stuff like that. So be good, be amazing, be nice, learn and teach and thrive with peace and harmony. Did you guys hear about the story where Trump is told people to ban aid that was supposed to go to hungry people in the Middle East? I think that's fucking crazy. Tell me this guy that's rich, a president that lives in a house that's supposed to be owned by the public and has a whole bunch of other houses, probably never misses a meal. You can tell. You can tell that nigga does not miss one, not even one meal. But there is other people that are literally going through famine, and they're the most neediest people on the planet as we speak right now. They are in like that. Their lives are in a they're in a situation where they need the most amount of help they can possibly get, and you have a super duper rich person that says, you know what, literally out of their mouth. Oh, we never saw him really say this, but these are reports that are coming out. They're saying that Trump just said, hey, instead of giving that food to those people, burn it. Like, burn it. What? How? What do you mean burn it? This is food. Literally, he said it's $800,000 worth of food. That's almost $1 million worth of food. But Trump said, burn it. Instead of giving it to those people, children, women, and men that are literally sleeping in tents, most likely because Trump's friend bombed their fucking spaces all to the ground. And when it's time for them to actually, like, get some food at least, this nigga said, no, you know what? How about you burn it? Yeah, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? That's just crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Like, some things that Trump do, and I try to understand them, they fry my brain. I can't even. It's like trying to understand why there's a mango in an apple tree growing together. I mean, it might be genetics. Maybe he's just genetically dumb. And he's old. Anyways, my name is Philip, and this is the Bad Cigarette Podcast. And I'm not a bad person. I'm not like trying to make people hate Trump or anything, but these are just my opinions. Don't take them personal, and don't use them to make your own decisions about Trump. It's really, really, really good to always do your own research and make your own decisions without getting other people's influence and using that to make your decision. It's really good to do your own research, and I encourage that a lot. And I'll try to do it as much as I can. But the thing where Trump said that people should ban the food that kids are supposed to be eating, it's crazy. I think it's crazy, and I don't think that's a good thing. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and like so that you do not miss any other episode. And again, this is the Bad Cigarette Podcast. I am behind 2 of my paintings. I spent some time painting, and then I spent some time doing podcasts, and I spent sometimes at work. Not sometimes. And I have an accent, so my English probably sounds different from yours. Alright, I'm gonna go look right over yonder. Anyways, this is Philip. Thank you so much for watching.